What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Engineers That Filters podcast, episode 99. I'm your host, Jacob Thompson, and I'm just drinking a good old press of the pomegranate ginger variety.
It's lit.
Gotta love it. I haven't had press in a hot minute.
It's been a minute for me too, actually.
I did check at the store if they had the new variety pack, and unsurprisingly, they did not.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's hard for you to find.
Yeah, it's hard to get press out here in the boonies. The boonies of Indiana.
Indiana, yeah. Really desolate there.
It's been a while since I've had a seltzer. Now that I think about it, I've been on.
I was also on a
solid
beer
kick.
streak for a while.
Dude, the holidays have not been kind to that. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'm Joseph, and I'm drinking the Fulton Hop Star IPA.
Mm,
I haven't heard of that one.
sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I haven't had too many Fultons, but it's pretty good. This is the first one I've had.
I feel like we had Lonely Blonde whenever we would go out back when I lived with you.
Yeah, because Element had Lonely Blonde and their
Yep.
other IPA, Sweet Child Divine, I think.
Mhm.
Did they
Yeah,
have that one, or was it a different one?
I know.
It was-
I just remember the Lonely Blonde can.
Yeah, that one's pretty vivid. But I saw this, and I don't think I'd seen it before, so I got it. And it's pretty good. Pretty good.
Nice.
All right. Well, I'm Gabe, and I gotta preface this.
Oh boy.
I got the gift. It won't be too long. These gifts from my uncle or aunts and uncles for Christmas, and they got me one uncle and an aunt got me the beers of the world. It's like
Oh.
9 random beers,
Yeah.
and then the other one didn't talk to the other one, so I got 2 beers of the world. So we're taking a round trip twice. I'm not even.
Can you do it in less than 80 days?
Oh yeah.
I would hope so. I would
yeah.
hope so.
It's
Or
only
should we change it to
18.
80 hours?
Oh,
That
no,
would be a
that would be
challenge.
fun.
That would be a challenge. It's ironically, like I'd say almost half of them are German, but anyways, this is a Czech one. I can't pronounce it. I don't know if I can focus. I think it's just Czech bar. I think is what it's
Or,
supposed
yeah.
to. And then I also have this other one. I got a second one because this one's only like 2.5% or 3%.
What?
Yeah, it look at this color, dude. Does
It's
this not
orange.
look-
It looks like Fanta.
Yeah, it looks
It
like
looks like a
Fanta.
Fanta pop, and it's called Schaffenhofer. I don't know. You took German, Dayton. You know how to pronounce that?
Schürferhofer.
There we go.
Is it grapefruit or is it orange?
This is grapefruit.
Okay.
This is what
That's
the color of grapefruit, apparently.
I don't know how to do
mean,
that. That sounds kind
it
of
is.
good.
We'll see. I'll keep you updated about the 30-minute mark.
So it was
Well,
the same
after
9
30
years of
minutes,
both.
I hope that a 2.5%
Yeah.
beer doesn't hit you.
No, I'm saying once I finish this one.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's the same 9 beers I checked. They're the same
Okay.
ones. But
That's so fun.
yeah, so cool.
Oh, sorry, I'm messing with stuff on this on the stream. I heard the silence and I'm like, shit, that probably means it's my turn now. Anyway, I am Dayton, and well, I'm drinking my last pumpkin beer. For people who have been listening, I think you guys should know that I probably bought a 12-pack of this back in probably September, and I've just been nursing it since then.
Yeah,
And
say
I'm
this.
I'm glad to be done with it.
Yeah.
This episode's about like the new year, and you have a beer from fucking September.
Hey, you know, this is one of the things that I want to clear out before the new year comes.
There you go.
I don't want
Yeah,
to
we're
bring this into 2021.
This podcast was ending 2020, so Dayton's got to get all that shit out of here.
Yep.
You know, just finish it up.
That's fair.
Yep.
It's fair.
All right, so before we get into the topic, which is the year compass as we've been doing the past 2 years now, got to do my last PSA here. All right, people. Episode 100 is next week, all right? As of recording this, today is Tuesday, December 29th. we have had one person write in, and it was Joseph's girlfriend.
And she
We need-
roasted me.
and she roasted Joseph. We need more submissions. Please write in. And if you're sitting there thinking like, yeah, other people will write in, but I don't have to for so and so special
That's
case.
the bystander effect.
Let me tell you this. If you're hearing the sound of my voice right now, I want you to write in. Okay? Sean, I'm talking to you. Max, CC, I don't know who's listening, but if you're hearing the sound of my voice, or if I don't know your name, write into the podcast.
Pause the podcast.
Pause the podcast right now.
Go on Instagram.
Or
Unless you're
email.
driving. If you're
or
driving, wait till you get to your destination.
No, Joseph, you're driving,
Pull
pull
over.
over the car. Put the hazards on. Put the hazards on while your phone and just crank it out. All right. So either DM us on Instagram, or if you prefer, go to email. Email us at ewfpodcast@gmail.com. All right. At this point, I'll take a single word from you. Okay. Whatever you want to send us. Just some general prompts would be, something about yourself if you want, how you found the podcast, why you like it, any questions. At this point, whatever you want to fucking tell us, just send us something so we have a little more content for episode 9. We'll also have some other stuff we're doing, but please write in, Instagram DM or email us. It'll be in the description as well, the details on that. But please write in
Help.
for that.
Please.
I want to know. I feel like professor in class when you ask a question and nobody raises their hand. It's like
No.
I know you know the answer, but
No,
nobody wants to
Jacob,
fucking answer.
What this is fill out your course evals. That's what this
Yeah,
is.
honestly, it's like I'll get to it. And
Other people will do it.
why do course evals always close the week before finals week? Because I got fucked this year. I'm going to do them after I finish my finals. Finish my finals, oh shit, it closed last Friday. It's like, why wouldn't it close at the end of finals week? Let me get the stress out of the way, and then I can
No.
tell you how your class was.
I don't know,
Gotta do
man.
it during.
Because they don't want the final exam to influence the professors. If the final exam fucks you, you can't just be bitter and this fucking bitch ass professor.
I don't know.
You're
I
not
feel
wrong,
like-
Joseph.
I feel like by the time finals roll around, you kind of know what kind of exam you're gonna get, though.
That's true because you've already had a couple midterms, right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Well, the professor, it's not like the professor isn't writing the exam. The professor wrote the exam. I feel like it's fair game to put in the eval.
sure. Yeah.
But- Yeah, it is what it is. All right, let's get into the topic here. So, as I mentioned, for the past 2 years, we've been doing this year compass, which is a way to. It's kind of like a new and improved New Year's resolutions. It's a way to look back at the previous year and look forward to the new year. If you want to do one on your own, you go to yearcompass.com. I just download the PDF and you can fill it out, or you can print it out and fill it out. But it's something Dayton suggested 2 years ago, and we've liked doing it ever since. So this will be 2 episodes. So this week we're doing looking back at 2020. Next week, episode 100, so that'll be a special episode, and then the following week, episode 101, we'll be doing the 2021 kind of New Year's resolutions section of it. So we're just gonna try to get all this shit about 2020 out in this episode and just
In an
air all our
hour.
grievances. Yeah, it might be a little more than an hour, but we'll see how we go here.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably going to be a little bit more than an hour, just because there's the supplement, the pandemic supplement in this one. In past years, we've taken an hour just to do the normal one.
Right, and I'm actually really happy they've added that supplement, because if you didn't have that, I feel like every answer would be COVID. It's just would be really annoying. But I'm glad they added that in, so we can explain that as well when we get to that. But again, if you want to follow along or do it yourself, go to yourcompass.com and look at the PDF. But I'll try to narrate here for all the audio listeners and I guess visual listeners too. So, okay, so the first section here on page 4 for you guys is just going through the calendar. So just looking back at the last year and just any notable events, notable things. I kind of just do this as a way to summarize the big stuff that happened from the previous year. So obviously you don't have to read everything that you wrote down here, but maybe just pick out a few things or just some general sections or whatever you want to talk about. I can go first since I'm throwing you in the mix here. So what I've been doing the past couple of years, because it's the way my schedule works out, is I have different phases of the year. So for me, phase 1 was spring semester. I was living in Minneapolis with Joseph. I was doing some classes. I was working. And this was kind of pre-pandemic mostly. Pandemic hit in
March,
April.
mid-March.
Had all that shit going on. The big events that's when I visited Purdue, and I decided on Purdue in March and really liked it. Gabe, Joseph. Remember we went to Duluth this year?
Oh yeah,
We went to
I have
fucking
that on
Duluth.
mine.
that's on mine. That's on mine.
I had totally spaced it. And I checked Instagram and was like, oh shit, we went to fucking Duluth. So that
Hey,
was
I checked my
insane.
camera roll and like first 2 months, tons of photos. After that, it's fucking
It's
subspace.
just desolate.
Another thing that happened was the bullshit bracket. Our
Mhm.
March Madness
Oh,
three
I
yes.
forgot
episode
about that.
tournament. That was really fun. I hope to do it again next year. And then we just were supposed to go to some concerts, those got canceled. I'll probably bring that up later, but that was a bummer.
Mhm.
So that was the main first phase, and there was an intermission phase, which was in May, which is when Joseph left me to go live with Gabe. I was in the apartment by myself, and I was very lonely. He took all the furniture, so it was just
Because it was
echoey
my
room.
furniture.
Yeah, he took.
How
It's
dare
not like a
you, son of a
divorce.
bitch.
Yeah, it's not
I
a
won
divorce.
the furniture in the divorce proceedings.
Yeah, he took me for everything I had. Second phase was the summer. So that's when I moved to live with Dayton for a couple months in June and July, which was still like crazy. I actually
I
ended up doing
forgot
that.
you did that.
Yeah. I was still working, still taking the classes online, but it was pretty easy living. Dayton and I went and visited my friend Andrea in Vermont.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good time. I also went camping with Dayton and Justin in the White Mountains and almost died.
I remember hearing about that.
And I also visited my aunt and uncle in New Hampshire. So that was a good time. And then the final phase was fall semester. Moved in here in Lafayette. Started as a grad student. It's just like grad student stuff. Nothing really too exciting there. Got my first semester done. And then the final section is just all the media I consumed. I tried to get the big hitters. I've watched 10 new anime this year,
Ooh.
which honestly a little less than I was expecting, but I still got some.
Well,
some
okay,
work done.
one of them is the longest one in existence.
I did, yeah. I'll just read them quick. So One Piece, obviously, that was 950 episodes. Still say it's worth it. I watched Demon Slayer before, but I read the manga, and that was fun. Joseph and I watched My Hero Academia season 4. That was a good time. And then the next ones are Mob Psycho 100, Dr. Stone, Haikyuu, Martian Was Like a Lion, Food Wars, Berserk, Great Pretender, and Black Clover. I'd recommend all of those except for Black Clover, probably. And then Joseph and I watched Watchmen this year. Great
Oh,
fucking
fuck,
show.
that was this year.
Yeah, I think it came out last year, but we watched it this year.
Yeah, I remember watching it late.
New Letterkenny season came out last week. I watched that last night. Very good.
All of it?
Yeah.
It's only like
It's only 7 episodes, and
Oh, okay.
4 of them are only like 19 minutes long. It's a
Oh.
pretty like short season.
Okay.
But still like very good. Watch Queen's Gambit. That was good. Everyone watched that. BoJack final season came out in January.
Still haven't watched it.
Son of a bitch.
Wow.
I don't want it to end.
And then the last ones, I watched Schitt's Creek, all of that. That was amazing. Cried a lot. Castlevania season 3 was also this year. Very good. And then I didn't do music because I was too lazy to figure out what actually came out. But I'm saying Hades is my game of the year this year.
I just beat
Nice.
that.
It's very, very good. Yeah. Joseph, I will throw to you next.
So some top points was finally getting Hop Slam at the beginning of the year. Took me a while. I searched for like a month. I don't remember how much I documented it in the podcast, but I remember hunting for it. Jacob remembers me hunting for it. Went on a family vacation in February. Went to Florida with my whole family for a week.
Fuck, that was this year.
That was this year. That was pretty great. Apparently that was the coldest week here in Minneapolis.
It's like the week I moved in.
Yeah. Yeah, so I missed that, which was awesome. Yeah, Duluth trip. I have last day out at a bar because it was St. Patrick's Day. And then shit shut down like the Monday after.
Oh my god, that was such a dead bar day too.
It
Oh
was
wait, I did go for that as well. I thought I didn't go, but we
You-
went to the 612.
in Bauhaus. That was the first time we went to Bauhaus.
Yeah.
And then I remember we were out and we're like, I feel like we shouldn't be out. Like this feels wrong.
Yeah.
Like we know everything's closing, but it's like it obviously wasn't as bad as it is now. So like
Yeah. I think other states had called it at that point.
I know Connecticut had because my plans got canceled.
Yeah, I know most of the East Coast got hit pretty hard really early.
Well, it was like New York and what was it, or no, it was Washington, like Seattle and California had it really bad.
Mhm.
You know, the main ports, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
And then I have drinking Oberon on our balcony because it was like 60 degrees in March. That was pretty fucking great.
Oh yeah.
I bought a bike the day before a snowstorm, the Easter snowstorm. Camping. I did quite a bit of as much camping as I kind of could. I probably could have done more, but I did, a good couple camping trips. Dayton coming down to visit for the weekend, and I bought a car. Those are my top hits of the year, I'd say.
Nice.
I like it. Gub.
Shit. Okay. I started the first month in my hometown in kind of Lansing area, which is weird. I had like a month off before I started my job. And I moved to Uptown in Minneapolis, which was also weird because it was like a temporary place and it was just very different, especially like compared to my hometown. Started working full time. Also, you'll see that show up later. Lots of adapting there. Went to a concert in February, like the only one I went to this year. It was in a shitty dive bar, but it was super fucking fun.
Blue
I remember we were talking shit about Cooper with a random couple that was like sitting next to us. By the way, he was holding his beer.
Drinking old style too.
That's what it was.
They still make that? I'm like, hell yeah, man.
I mean, they were a fun couple. It makes me miss like drunkenly talking to random people,
Mhm.
Arcade bar in Uptown, went there like once a week when it was actually
Uptown,
open. Uptown's
You love that
awesome.
place.
Yeah, it's fucking great. Obviously Duluth trip, going out to the bars in Minneapolis when I could. Bought a car at the start of the pandemic. That was pretty neat. Took advantage of that. Moved again Northeast with some friends. Started playing guitar regularly in like late June, early July.
That
4th
early,
of
huh? Damn.
Yeah. 4th of July, I went out back to Michigan. That was super fun. Reminded me of how cool Michigan can be, or is in the summer, like the whole lake thing. Not that Minnesota doesn't have it, but
We have 10,000 lakes.
yeah. Went on a
Michigan has
weekend trip at a
13,000.
friend's cabin. That was in Wisconsin, technically, but that was cool. Went to trips to breweries on Friday nights when it was outdoor dining.
Mm-hmm.
Went on some small hikes. Started running, which I never thought I was gonna fucking do. I still don't like. Sometimes I'm running like this kind of fucking sucks, but then I'm done. I'm like, I'm great. It's a fucking, what's the name of
Runner's
Stockholm
high.
syndrome?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say runner's high.
that too. And then went back to Michigan for Labor Day, and then I also have just like a general like Fridays afternoon at our house. It's always fun. I remember, we still do it. Just get to relax, when the week's over or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yeah.
So mine is like I'm in like the same boat as you guys. Where like the first 3 months of 2020 feel like forever ago. Like
Yeah.
it
So
literally feels like a different world, which I mean in some ways it is. But I spent.
half my list was the first 3 months. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not joking.
Just packing in all the exciting shit into the first 3 months.
I didn't know it, but
Yeah. just kind of how it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like I spent New Year's Eve and New Year's in South Carolina on a road trip, where I flew from Connecticut to Michigan, and then we went through Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, West Virginia, and then I think back to Ohio, and then back up to Michigan. So I mean, if that alone would have been like unthinkable if it happened in like April. People have been like, bro, why the fuck are you traveling? Like,
Yeah.
and then met some North Carolina locals, and got to try some genuine moonshine there, which
Sounds terrible.
was fucking awful. It literally once I like took a sip of it, it like dried my mouth out, and it felt super cool because it like evaporated so quickly.
Fucking yikes.
Yeah,
sounds
fucking yikes is right. And then in February, I went to New York City and spent some time there, and I went to the Met, and then I think like the week after I went up to Boston and visited Max and Kenzie. Both those things feel forever ago. And then pretty much right when the pandemic hit in like March, I have just like a blank of time from March until like June, where there's like absolutely nothing that I did. Except that's also when I started like losing weight and I started running more, and I just kind of stuff that I didn't really feel the need to like document, and stuff like that. And then Jacob moved out here in June, and then we ended up going on like a few different trips up to the Whites. I'm really happy that I got to spend some time with him outside, do that stuff, go to Vermont with him.
When did you move into your new place?
May? Yeah, late May. Yep. And then pretty much like from July until October was just like a whole bunch of me going to the Whites as much as I could. And that was fun. It was not even just like the Whites. Justin and I went up to Vermont, and we biked up there, spent some time back home when I could for like the bachelor party for my sister and her husband. And yeah, and then shortly after I went back home for my sister's wedding, and that was kind of sketchy that second time because like flying got even kind of like sketchier because the virus is kind of running more rampant. Did my longest run, and that was the Manistee River Trail Loop. That was 19 miles under 4 hours.
Jesus.
And then
No.
oh, and then after the wedding, Justin got me onto the 5K training program, so that kind of like ramped up my running even more. And that's pretty much what I've been doing from October until now, is just running. And then I had to spend Thanksgiving, which is my birthday, alone, and then I had to spend Christmas alone too.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. That gets expanded upon. But yeah, that's about it.
It starts off like all of our years. It starts off pretty good, like a lot of interesting shit, and then there's just like gaps, man.
Yeah.
I mean, there are gaps. I still feel like we still all had some interesting things kind of dotted throughout.
I mean, I think everyone's had an interesting year. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
We all found like little nuggets of like things to do
to latch on to make his year salvageable.
Yeah, Dayton's running from his thoughts.
Yep.
Let's go on to the next page here. So this is what my last year was about. And this page is kind of just organized into different sections, such as personal life and family, belongings, health and fitness, stuff like that. So we usually just go around a couple times and just pick out whatever you want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I go first. I'll do belongings. I don't usually have this one being interesting, but this year I got all my kitchen equipment, which was really fun, and I also got furniture for my apartment for the first time. So both of those.
See the chair peeking out there on your video feed.
Oh, yeah, it's my couch is right here.
Yeah.
Got a coffee table.
Did you end up getting that chair that you wanted, or no?
Not yet. I might still get it. We'll see. I don't know. I'll let you know. I mean, it'll be right back there in the shot if I end up getting it.
So it'll be very obvious.
Yeah, but no, it's been cool to feel like more of an adult. Like I'm buying fucking furniture.
Oh, sure.
Got nice knives now, so those have been fun little things. Joseph, let's do the normal like podcast order.
All right. I think I'll start with relaxation, hobbies, and creativity. I think all of us always talk about this one. I feel like every year. But I had some fun ones this year. I got into mountain biking this summer, which was really fun. I got really into it, which was awesome. I really liked, diving into it. I tried painting twice. We followed Bob Ross paintings
Did
around.
not
Actually,
go well.
the first time it went well. I have mine right here. You can see behind me. So I've got that one up. The other one is on the floor, or maybe I threw it away.
It
Did
got
not
thrown
go
away.
well.
It got
Delete
thrown
the
away.
evidence.
Yeah, but I did it twice. And then again, we went snowboarding in Duluth, which was really fun.
So you're a mountain baby.
Yeah, and actually, Gabe and I are talking about going, so hopefully soon again. So
I've been seeing all like Instagram posts and stories about people like going skiing. It's like, fuck, dude, like there's no snow here. And even if there was, there's no fucking hills. It's just like,
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
weird.
it's-
Because now I got friends that are like all over, so it's like, I mean, I got a couple friends that are like in Utah, a couple friends in Jackson Hole or whatever. So it's like, fuck, that's just their Tuesday, It's like, okay, it's cool.
ugh.
yeah, and skiing's one of those weird hobbies where like you kind of have to travel for it more often than not, but also you're not near people when you do it. Like it's not like there's one or two parts where it's crowded, which is like the lift line and then the lodge, which they can like limit people in the lodge and then just
A
stay
lot
away
of
from
places
people.
won't
in the
even let you go in now.
Yeah,
just can't.
exactly.
Unless you have to like take a shit, you can't go in.
Well, yeah. So like that's one nice thing about it. It's like for the most part you're not like crowded up with people.
I mean, if you
But-
are, you're probably wearing like a
face.
gaiter or something like over your face anyway. Or in
Exactly.
You do that snowboarding regardless, or
Yeah,
skiing or whatever.
Exactly. So like that's one of those weird like hobbies that like you can kind of like I don't know, like
You can still do it.
yeah, you can still do it and like kind of make excuses of why it's all
You
okay.
can't have that post ski beer at the chalet,
That is true, and that is a very important aspect of
It
ski
is.
bum culture. And I'll tell you what, as an aspiring ski bum, it is important.
All right,
For
Gabe, what do
sure.
you got?
I'll do health and fitness because normally, I mean, last year I worked out like 3 times a week. This year I said, fuck it. What else am I gonna do? I work out 5 times a week now. I run twice a week and then I lift 3 times a week. And it was probably late June, early July. I was like, I'm gaining some weight. This sucks. So I changed up my workout routine. And I was just telling Dane earlier today, I'm down 10 pounds. I'm fucking cut. I feel good. And I'm really proud of it. Very, very, very happy where I'm at right now,
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
And Dane's been giving me tons of running advice and all that shit.
And
He's still
motivation.
running, like, huh?
And motivation.
Yeah. So I got the app Strava. I don't know if we've talked about it before, but it's basically a social media, but for like, exercising.
Yeah, just
Jacob's
physical
on it too.
activity.
So
I've
like
been
you
using it
can-
instead of Twitter because I think it's more fun to have funny titles on Strava because it makes
Oh
more
yeah.
sense.
It's kind of the Wild West, but it's fun because I mean, I've run and I'm like, oh, that was a good time, and then I see Dayton's and I'm like, oh, I'm useless, and then I run again. It's motivating.
It's to show you your potential, Gabe.
I'm not that motivated for the running. I do it for the fitness, not for
Yeah.
not for the
Not
number.
for the attention.
Oh,
Yeah.
please. I'm not doing it for the attention.
He's doing it for the medals. He's doing it for the JPEGs.
Yeah, I want those. I want those shiny gold pixels on my phone.
Get those fake internet points.
I will say, so like when you do a post, it'll like track your run or whatever, and then it'll give you like medals. If it was your fastest run, it'll give you like a gold medal. And it sounds stupid, but it's very motivating. It's
Dude,
like
it seriously hits your monkey brain.
it does. You're like, I must do better. Must
Yeah.
get gold. I don't know. It's really fun to try and beat your time. Even though like
feels
usually by
good.
the time I'm done, I'm like wheezing and I'm
Mm.
like, I need a minute to like catch my breath. It's like, oh, it's worth it for that fucking small medal.
And the clout.
You
Yeah.
finally got new running shoes, right?
I did.
Mm.
I
You had some old ones for a while there.
yeah, I had those from like high school. Those are now the lawn mowing shoes. But now I
Some
got
dad-
some nice Birks shoes. Got some
Okay.
support, some actual arch in them. It's
Mhm.
nice.
I like it.
Mm.
Well, like Gabe, I'm also gonna go with health and fitness because we're already talking about it.
Hell yeah.
So 2020 has been like the I would it's different levels of fitness, but like this is like the best like running and like cardio shape I've been in probably my entire life. Maybe in like my early soccer years when I was playing in the field and not as much in goalie.
And you didn't get tired because you were like 16.
Yeah. Maybe then, but even then I'm not sure if I'm as like fast as I am now. At least like for like distances. I know for a fact I sprinted faster back then, but that's a different story.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I saw those tree trunks. Your fucking legs are massive now, man. I think.
Some thunder thighs.
That's
really
from
does.
that's from the running though, not from the.
Yeah.
I don't do any. Well, I do speed work, but it's not like. It's for extended durations, not like 100-meter sprints or anything.
Right.
But last year I said that for 2020, I would consider. I didn't even promise myself. I said I would consider doing a half marathon or a full marathon if other things drop in priority. And well, would you look at that? Something dropped in priority, aka literally everything. So I ended up running my first half marathon, which was a trail half marathon. So I would say it's easily more difficult than road running, considering that I did 2,000 feet of elevation gain in it. I completed the Presidential Traverse, which was 22 miles and 9,000 feet of elevation gain. I did the Manistee River Trail Loop, which I talked about earlier, 19 miles in like under 4 hours. And then I've already gotten my sub 20-minute 5K, which was one of my goals. And then actually coming up this Thursday, I'm gonna be running that again to close out 2020 and hope for a better PR on that.
Hell yeah.
Crazy.
Oh yeah. What's nice about running is like it's so easy to tell when you've improved. It's just like
it feels so good.
PRs.
It feels so good.
Hell yeah.
Well, I just did a sub 25-minute 5K, and I was talking to Dane. He's like, "Oh yeah, just sub 20." I'm like, Jesus Christ.
It's just consistency. You just have to.
Yeah,
stick
I mean,
with
you
it.
also do a lot more distance. I don't do anything usually more than 3 miles or anything.
Yeah, and it's
I like
also a lot of like the speed work, and there's
Yeah.
just like different types of workouts. It's not like you can just kind of go out there and run like a few miles just at some random pace. Gonna have to stick to a
right.
plan.
Fuck
but-
that.
Well, on that note, Gabe, on the fuck that, that's where I'm at in my running journey. So I also do health and fitness right
Hey
now.
yo!
Hell yeah! Joseph,
I
you're
gotta-
next.
I gotta start with this. So at the end of 2019, I'm like, all right, I want to fucking start working out more. And I tell you what, Joseph, you remember this? Beginning of 2020, I was killing it. Okay, I was going to the gym like after work every single day. It's like 5 days a week, and then I was running on the weekends. So I was like had a fucking plan. And then fucking COVID hit, and I just stopped everything. Like everything came to a halt, and it is not working out at all. Because like it worked out because I would leave to go to work. On my way home, I could do it before I got home. Because as soon as I get home and I sit on the couch, it's over. All right, it's game over for the night. But then I just stopped going into work, so I just stopped leaving the apartments, and the gym was closed anyway. So I just stopped working out. I would like run every now and then, but really just hit a wall. But thankfully, these last I don't even know how much it's been, maybe past 2 months here. My friend and I have been trying to like encourage each other to run, so we've been each running 3 times a week. So I'm just literally doing 3 miles, same route every day.
You
which I
added
don't
a
really
hill.
get
Exactly.
You added
That's
a hill.
what I do.
I know I did add a hill today. I was feeling pretty good, and I'm like, I got fucking time, so I added a big hill at the end. I was hoping to get to 4 miles, it's only 3.75, but I might start increasing the distance a little bit at this point.
Hey yo!
But yeah, I'm happy that I've been consistent with running. Now I want to start lifting again. It's just like not so comfortable to go to the gym, and like here's the thing: once like Purdue gets the vaccine, like I'm comfortable the student body has been vaccinated. I want to go to the Purdue gym because like it's free, but like the Purdue gym is so fucking intimidating because it's fucking massive, and it's all these fucking like football players and it's all these fucking athletes, and it's just like
They don't have a
it always-
varsity gym?
I don't think so, because the co-rec is just so massive. Like you can theoretically like, find a spot in it to do whatever you want to
Oh,
do. So
interesting.
once I'm in there and I can just like look around more. I've only saw it on my visit last March. I haven't been there since I've moved here yet.
Dude, nobody
So-
pays attention to anyone but themselves at the gym.
I know, but like maybe I can send like a picture or something when I go just to explain to you like how fucking big this place is. But hopefully once that's open or more open and you know people are, it's a little bit safer, then I can get back to
Yeah.
lifting.
Mm,
But for now, running and I feel good about it.
It's
hell
good.
yeah.
Awesome.
Joseph,
I'm not doing health and fitness because I didn't write anything down for it. So.
Joseph.
I did start working out a little bit at the beginning of the year. But
you are rowing, dude. I remember you trying to doing the apartment gym.
yeah, I would row twice a week for at least for January and February. I think most of March I did it. But then once the gym closed, I like to row, and I don't have a rowing machine. So
Wasn't the machine like broken half the time too?
it was always broken, so but I pushed through it. I'm gonna go with friends and community. I have Gabe moving to Minneapolis with a smiley face, and Jacob leaving Minneapolis with a frowny face.
Aw.
Because it was great living with Jacob and having him here, and it was sad to see him go. But it was also really great to have Gabe move here, and then moving in with him and Tim, and Cooper's moved pretty close now too. I mean, he was always pretty close, but
He
Yeah.
essentially lived there. Let's be honest.
He's a little bit closer though.
yeah. So yeah, it's been great having that core group of friends here and doing all that. So
Especially with the times, man.
yeah, you know, it's not like I can just go hang out with Cooper, and before it was like him and he would always have his friends, which was fine, but it's like I don't know.
We're his
I'm-
main group now.
Yeah, like
Coach
I'm very thankful that like I do have that core group.
Mm-hmm. No, it helps a lot for sure.
Hmm.
Oh shit, it's my turn. Fuck. I'll do. The friends thing will be the same for me. So I'm gonna do the relaxation, hobbies, and creativity because we're all very hobby centered. I feel like. And I mean, it's been a year to definitely take up hobbies and to relax. I think. So obviously, you guys have heard it countless times on podcast, but started playing guitar, and that's been something I always kind of like wanted to do, but the learning curve has always been a little bit steep, and that's been really good, I think, for me. Not only like a creative level, but also just like I don't know, just something fun to do and something new to learn and whatnot. And I had all the opportunity to do it, but you know, I get my bouts of burnout. I think I've been going a little crazy. Sometimes I was like, I'll play forever, and then like I don't want to play for like a week.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still fun to learn. Still, you know, interesting and engaging, and it's like fucking limitless. There's so much shit to learn. It's kind of daunting, but it's been fun. And obviously, the podcast is something we still got to do. I mean, what you said at the beginning of this episode, we've been doing it for 2 years or something, or this is the second year, or third year, or whatever.
We've been doing it for like 2.5. No,
Yeah, we took that. We took
We
that
had a
break.
hiatus, yeah, but well, next week we'll go over all the podcast statistics and we can
Yeah.
get into the,
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Stay tuned. But I still enjoy doing it. It's still, and especially now, I mean, it's a great excuse to get to like talk to you guys or whatever. I mean, Joseph I live with, but like to talk to the other two people I don't see that much anymore, and you know, catch up and I don't know, even involve other friends with like our bullshit bracket episode, which you guys should tune
Mhm.
into. Scroll back through Spotify or whatever, click on that one. That one's fun.
hell yeah.
I'm gonna, yeah, I'll go with emotional and spiritual. I think this year was like, it may have been early 2019 or late 2019, But I've realized that like I now experience anxiety sometimes, which is like a completely new like feeling for me. And it's very possible that it's one of those things where I'd always experienced it, but I never like had a name for it. And I finally like just like realized that it was probably anxiety. Like it seems to fit the bill. Um,
Mhm.
and then I also realized through this year that exercising helps anxiety from cropping up. So if I keep a regular workout like regimen, and I'm like running a few times a week, and if I'm like able to play sports, then I'm usually fine. It doesn't ever crop up. So
That definitely helps.
yeah,
I
sure
always thought that like the word worry and anxiety were different until like a year or two ago, and I realized like worrying is anxiety. But I definitely even like now like similar example dating like a couple weeks ago or it's probably a month ago at this point I was working from home, and sometimes I just get like really anxious in the mornings like just with stuff I have to do for work or something.
mm-hmm.
And there's some other like interpersonal things that were just like really bothering me. And I just went for a run on lunch and it completely cleared my head. Like I
Yeah.
came back and I was just like reset, took a shower, and I was fine for the rest of the day.
And
Something
Gabe,
about that.
when you run, do you run with music?
Oh yeah,
Okay, okay. Because I
music.
I I don't run with music, and I've tried to run. Well, so I have run with music, and I enjoy it, but
Mm,
nowadays I run without music. It doesn't matter how long of a run it is. I'm running without music, and it's really interesting because I've tried to go out onto a run and be like, hey, I'm gonna think about this thing during
but
this
you
run because
can't.
I have like 2 hours on my hand or however long of a run it is, uh,
Hmm.
and I literally think about it for 15 seconds, and then the
That's
thought's just
gone.
gone, and I'm just like, wait,
Hmm.
I was trying to think about this, and it's just like it's not possible. It's like I just don't think about anything when I'm running.
Right. That kind of happens even when I listen to music, honestly. Like I do. So I listen. It's kind of a cheat code. I listen to like super high BPM music because your monkey brain will like try and match pace. I'm not joking. If
No, it
you look
totally
back
works.
at my
Totally works.
numbers, I run faster with like faster music. I just
Mhm.
how it goes. I'll catch myself like running to like the drum beat. Super
Mhm.
weird. But like I can't form a thought besides music good and me tired. That's pretty much it.
You know,
So
I run way slower. I'm listening to podcasts, which is like it's frustrating. 'Cause it's a great time to listen to podcasts,
it
but
is, yeah.
I feel like the big booty mix, I run way faster. Because yeah, the BPM is just higher. Um, but yeah, no, I haven't run without music for a long time, and I feel like I prefer it with music. 'Cause I'm with Dayton, where like thoughts do kind of just are pretty fleeting when you're running, but I still can get stuck on some stuff. And also, I just start thinking about how much my body hurts if it's like a harder workout. You know,
That's
it's
fair.
like
Yeah.
I remember doing races, you know, back in high school, cross country races, and like you're just thinking about, okay, I gotta pass this guy, I gotta pass this guy. This fucking hurts so bad, and it's
Mhm.
just like all these like negative thoughts, and then like
Well, dude, and
you
5Ks
finish the
suck.
race, and you're like, fuck yeah,
And 5Ks are objectively just like sucky ass races. Like
oh yeah,
you're running it like if you're competing, you're running it so fucking fast for a
Mhm.
decent amount of time where it's just like just fucking end me. Like I know that this is only going to be like around 20 minutes, but like good lord.
it's
Yeah.
so painful. And like, but in my opinion, like doing that on your own is so much harder. Like in a race, when you have people to pass, it makes it so much easier. Like
Mhm.
I don't know if like even when my top shape back in high school, like I don't think I could run as fast if it wasn't a race setting, because I just need those people to kind of just pull to myself, you know.
Yeah.
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 I don't know. I think running has like made me more comfortable with like pain. I don't know how else to rephrase it, but there's points where it's like I have another mile. I'm not comfortable, but it's only another mile. Or like
Yeah.
just putting yourself through that. It's there's some mental strength behind it for sure. Like why you might
Mhm.
not have a ton of thoughts. A lot of your thoughts are like this hurts, but I can do it. I don't know.
Oh yeah, running get
Yeah.
insanely mental.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Do you guys want to do another one of these, or want to just move on to the next
I
next
feel like we
section?
should move on for time's
Yeah.
sake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're to the pandemic supplement. So they added this in because obviously this year was not typical, um, and it's just kind of hitting on some of the main like themes of the pandemic or main issues. So the three things are control, activities, and social circle. So I'll be honest with the control one. I don't know if I really want to get into the details because for me myself, specifically, it gets kind of dark. I don't know if you guys want to chime in, but let me just read this thing on the top because I really liked it. Redefine and control. The Stoics of old had an excellent teaching. You can only control three things: your actions, words, and how you handle your emotions. Everything else is outside your power. I like that a lot because there are a lot of big issues that happened this year, even besides the pandemic, and I think it's good to take a step back and just like think that these are not in my control. I kind of just have to let them go. Do what I can in certain areas, but there's something that I cannot control at all. So, do you guys want to touch on anything in specific, or do you want to just skip past this stuff?
I mean,
If
I
I'm
don't.
being honest, I didn't fill out this section. I was like, oh, I'll come back to it, and I ran out of time, so I don't have a whole lot to add in here.
Gabe, Dayton, anything you want to throw in or not?
I mean,
Yeah, I
I'll say
guess-
that the one thing that I noticed that was a theme with mine is that a lot of mine were actually things that I could control just by reframing my emotions, which I found kind of surprising.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I guess- Oh god.
I was gonna say the theme of this one was like write down things that you're worried about, and then pick which ones you can and can't control, and if you can't control it, like is it through words, through actions, or through like reframing your emotions? So that was kind of the idea.
Yeah, I guess the only thing I really put on there that I got out of it was like the idea of like the pandemic kind of throws off a lot of people's like general way of life. I think it's not a radical statement to say like everybody's way of life has been altered in some shape or form, but the way that like I don't think people would have adapted as well as they have if it wasn't like forced upon them like this, as shitty as that is to say. And I think even like, you know, putting that towards like my life personally, like there's definitely some things that I've realized that I am a lot more like adaptable or like find ways to supplement other things despite the circumstances, and just realizing there are some things you can't control, right? And that some things you just got to wait out. And I mean, in the next section or whatever, you'll see a lot of things I feel like I realized I just kind of have to be patient about it, and it sucks, but sometimes you gotta be patient about shit you can't control before I get that poke in the arm, man.
Yep.
So the next section about activities. So this first part, page Roman numeral 3 for you guys. What you didn't do this year. Basically, what are some things that got canceled or changed because of the pandemic, and it's okay to mourn and be somewhat pissed. This is our time to vent. I can just rapid fire some of these. I mentioned before, Jules and I missed some concerts. We missed Eden.
I missed
looking
Eden
forward to that one a
too.
lot. Yeah, that was big sad. I blame the pandemic on my workout routine getting fucked. That sucked. After getting to grad school, I didn't really get a chance to meet a lot of people. Like normally our department has like a lot of social events. They have like a potluck Thanksgiving, stuff like that, and just all that just didn't happen. So I don't even know people in my department besides the one that were in my class. So that sucked. I wanted to meet some more people this semester. And then of course holiday stuff. I didn't get to see my friends or family back home for Thanksgiving and Christmas this year. So yeah, it sucked.
Yeah, I guess pretty similar vein. No, I wasn't able to visit my family on holidays that I wanted to. Or even like relaxing on weekends by like going out to bars, trying new restaurants, and just like seeing the city without like feeling guilty of like being out and about. You know, I just anytime like I would go like out to even like pick up food for like takeout, I was just kind of like felt guilty for being outside sometimes. Yeah, concerts. My workplace does quite a few like bar crawls and other social events. Missed out on those, and then even visits from friends that live like nearby. CC mentioned wanting to come down last year. Emily came over to visit for a weekend, and just some other friends that live semi nearby that just didn't work out to see just because of the pandemic.
Yeah. And just you reminded me, I have not been to a brewery yet in this town since I've gotten here, which like insane to me, but it's like, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, breaking or beating a dead horse. I almost said broken record and beating a dead horse.
Broken a dead record horse.
Yeah, what he said. Uh, Pretty much the same stuff. I guess I wanted to do a lot more traveling. That I didn't get to do. I mean, even in the next section, I wanted to visit, my friends. I want to see Dayton. I wanted to see. There are a couple high school friends. I want to see some friends, or even take out trips out west that I just didn't get to do. Uh, which I feel like I finally got the money to do it, but now I just can't. Or like, I mean, I can. It just I feel guilty about it.
Yeah.
Definitely, like Joseph was saying, having friends come over, visiting friends, pretty much the same thing. Going out to bars with friends, exploring Minneapolis as a whole. I got like a month and a half of it, and then just didn't really get to see everything that I wanted in a month and a half. Imagine that. Yeah, just meeting new people, that's also a big one too. Like, I'm sure, I mean, I think it's hard regardless outside of work or whatever, or outside of college, sorry, to like meet new people. But I feel like it's especially difficult this year. And also, like, working full time for this to be my first year working full time, it's been an interesting one. I mean, the team that I am on, I do like pretty much I do like everyone that I work with. They're a good group of people, but it's also like, it's not like normal working conditions by any means. There's a lot of things that are off. Like Joseph said, a lot of work events and stuff that we didn't get to do. Usually, like every 3 months, to like let us drink beer like an hour before work, and or like have movie events, or I don't know. Some of it's just like kind of lame work culture, but sometimes it's still like
Still
kind
kind
of
of
want it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's more. I would just crave like the talking to people thing.
Who'd have thunk?
Who would have thunk? Yeah, here's what I got.
So what I have is that I had to miss a friend's wedding because of this. I couldn't do any bike packing with one of my friends. Couldn't spend any time at the beach, which I'm not a huge beach guy, but I mean, like, Connecticut and like Rhode Island, like, beaches are like the one thing that these states have going for them. I couldn't go to New York as much as I wanted to. I had to spend Thanksgiving and Christmas alone, and I wasn't able to have any Halloween parties, which I was really disappointed on because I love Halloween, and I think costume parties are like so much fun, and I haven't been able to have any of those, so that was kind of shitty.
Yeah.
Actually, really shitty, but.
So, going off of that, and the next page is how you rolled with the punches. So, how did we kind of adjust? How did we adapt? What were some things that we were able to kind of make a little better? Our way to cope. So, some things I wrote down. Discord was huge this year. Being able to easily talk in video chat or just throw things in a server with your friends. It's a really easy way to connect with everyone, which is awesome. We had some like friend game nights earlier in the pandemic.
That was like first month where it's like just a 2-week adventure in and out.
Yeah.
Let's have some fun while we have our alone time.
It was still good. Me going to live with Dayton wouldn't have happened without the pandemic, I don't think, because I wouldn't have been able to work from home because like my work, like we didn't work from home, and then the pandemic happened. So I figured it out, and because I figured it out, I'm like, oh, I could just live anywhere. So I figured out how to live with Dayton. So that was kind of a weird blessing in disguise. And then One Piece was a very much comfort food this year. I'm gonna keep bringing it up because like it's honestly, I still okay. I mean, just watching it, I've spent over 300 hours just watching the show, and I probably spent another 100 just thinking about it because like there's just so many things that it's like I just fucking love it so much. So that was a big part of this year for me, and then I was thankful to able to get a small group of friends this semester to not go insane. So it was a small group, but it was only 3 of us, but it was still really nice to have. So.
Yeah, mine's in a pretty similar, reducing my social circle to when having nights in instead. As Gabe mentioned earlier, Friday nights, Cooper would come over and we just, hang out. And in the summer, we had a couple bonfires and, just kind of sit around. Couple times the outdoor breweries would be open. You could sit out on the patio, and that was nice. That helped. Yeah, a big part was definitely those early Discord calls that we did, and playing golf with friends and Jackbox and all that. That was a blast, and I think we should get back to doing that. I had a blast with those.
I'm down.
All right, and then uh, weren't able to go to any concerts, but we did live stream a couple concerts in our living room here, which was pretty fun. Neither of them were my first choice in bands, but I still, it was still fun it's still like a live show to watch, if nothing
Yeah.
else.
Yeah, they still like record them as if it's like live mix, which is I think a big part of live concerts, right? It's like the
Yeah.
audio.
So that I thought that was a cool thing that artists did, and I still find live music interesting, even if it's not my first choice. So yeah, those were nice.
Yeah, I mean, same fucking shit a little bit. I was just gonna point out that, I mean, me and Joseph live together, so like the bar thing is definitely or like the hang out inside thing. So I'm gonna skip that because you already said it. I would say starting a new hobby. I already said that before. Like that definitely helped me cope a lot. Just like giving me something to do, I guess, and like still feeling like I'm making some progress in something in my life. I also would say weirdly, I mean, I think pretty much everybody except January and February birthdays have had weird birthdays, and like, I mean, maybe on the holidays, right? Like, I mean, for my birthday, we all got in Discord and played some games, and that was really cool. I mean, definitely different, but still fun. Enjoyed that. Yeah, that's the social circle stuff. So.
For me, I found that I shifted to working from home very quickly, which was nice, and I think part of that was because I changed my eating habits. So I think I talked about it, at least at some point, how I was kind of doing like one meal a day and intermittent fasting, at least for a good portion of time, and I stopped doing that, and I started eating like more regularly to kind of keep track of the time better. Like during the day, like sort of like a fucking prisoner, like just scratches on the wall the amount of days that they've been in confinement.
Prisoner of your own home.
Yeah, because like during my work from home weeks, I would literally not see anybody, and I wouldn't go outside of my apartment for 7 days straight. This was like during like the early days of the pandemic when we weren't really sure what we could be doing.
Right.
I started video calling people a lot more. Like outside of just doing like the podcast, I started video calling like other friends more. Even when like we could have just like sorted it out like over text or whatever, we just would decide to video call. And then playing games with people, like we had talked about. And then I actually managed to spend more time up in the whites than I think I would have otherwise, because if we would have had like more social things to do this summer, I think I would have had more obligations like back here in Connecticut, and I wouldn't have been as free and open to go up to New Hampshire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely had plenty of time on our hands.
Yeah.
I'm gonna skip the next page just because of time, and also not a whole lot there. Unless somebody opposes strongly.
I'm good with it.
No.
So we're gonna move to the last section of the pandemic, which is the social circle section. So we're just really talking about like friend group and just your social life. This is page Roman numeral 6. This first part here, social distance. People who you lost touch with are you not as close to as you wanted to be during the pandemic. So I mainly just wrote down my high school friends who, one on Perkins. I think we talked on Discord like every once in a while, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pop into a call, but My friend's Chris. I haven't talked to him in a hot minute, and I normally see them, during the holidays. 'Cause I'm usually home in Minnesota, but that's been rough, not to me being able to see them as much this year. So I hopefully can see them next year.
So I did this a bit more abstractly, I guess, where I kind of talked about like I'm upset that I have less opportunities to expand my friend group. Because like before I would hang out because our friend Cooper had a lot of work friends, and we'd go out to bars together. So like I had that opportunity to like meet new friends and even like coworkers and events with those. Um, and so like I've lost touch. I mean, obviously I'm not going to just hit up, my friends' friends, but hanging out with them was fun, and I haven't been able to since. So that was a big part that I had lost touch with.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the same thing. Like talking to new people in general just kind of sucks. Said I miss rooms just full of people. It's weird even seeing like movies or I don't know, even like old pictures of just like big crowds. Like it's just super weird. It's like it's not even like so much. Sometimes human monkey brain, you just want to be with other people. That you don't need to talk to them. There's just something about being in another room with other people. I don't know. And then I also have going to bars, being stupid with my friends. And then I also like on a weird like side tangent, like any form. If anyone is trying to date right now, I'm sorry, it doesn't work. Like,
It can't be done.
I'm not saying like I'm trying to, I don't know, like I was like trying to rush into it, start of the year or whatever. Anyways, but it's just fucking like obviously no one wants to fucking meet because it's like, you don't want to get anyone sick, but also it's like there's as far as we know, I mean, we're maybe looking at what end of summer for this like to end, like this 2021 summer, for everyone to get vaccinated and whatnot. So that's been kind of weird. I didn't think that it would bother me as much as it does sometimes. I think I've gotten better at like accepting it and just having to wait it out. But there's definitely like bouts where it's like there's nothing I can do about it, but kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Similar to Jacob, I just found that I lost touch like even more than usual with my high school friends, and it's especially tough because like the two friends that I'm like thinking of, they don't really spend a lot of time like online, so it's even harder to keep in touch with them than people who are like quote unquote like more virtual, and are available on like Discord and stuff like that to like video call. So yeah, that's really the main stuff.
Yep. So the next part here is for the people we did keep around the smaller circle, who's close to you and how like did you have better connection with them? Who did you keep contact with? I imagine give it. I can't guess who it's gonna be. I do want to give a really big shout out to Steph, Alyssa, and Andrea this semester. All of them were really good friends to me. Were always there for me this semester and just helped me navigate, this new experience of grad school. It is being there and hang out with or bounce ideas off of, and just be around good people. So I'm very, very thankful for them. And also, of course, podcast, all you guys, and adding in the game stream has been really fun as well. Spend a little more time together and just goof off a little more. And like I said, Discord stuff. So yeah, we've been pretty solid throughout this whole thing because we already are talking, weekly. So
Yeah,
That's been nice. So my circle has been Gabe and Tim because they are my roommates.
kind of have to. Yeah.
Whether I like it or not.
Right.
My girlfriend Alyssa, she's been great throughout this, and she's been a big part. Our friend Cooper, and then our other friend Ryan. He's not as big, but he's been hanging out with us quite a bit too, which is been a nice change of pace when he's here because he went to tech with us, but I think I'd only met him once or twice if that. So even if he is a carbon copy of Gabe and Tim because they have the same job and the same major, it's still a different A different person, so it's like, new.
Same, but different.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me just go off that. I mean, pretty much same thing. He gets to go first. It's not fair. No, sorry. I mean, we fucking live together, so I mean, definitely very, very thankful. I mean, obviously, none of us knew it was coming, but it was cool to come to a place where I already had friends, and in a situation where it is hard to make new friends, it's not the end of the world because I can still have some form of social, you know, I don't know, just socialize. And definitely, it has been spending an insane amount of time with Tim, because I mean, we also work together, so and we commute together when we do go in office. So there's been some days where we spend like 11, 12 hours together. It's crazy.
Too much.
Like we get up, commute, and then we came back, and then like we went mountain biking or something. It's crazy. We haven't like killed each other yet though, so that's pretty good. We get along pretty well.
Plus.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's definitely different, but I'm glad that I do have that close friend group that I have, and we get to spend time with each other.
I wrote. I'm still close with my friend Justin and the podcast boys, and then my roommate Brian. Got to know Brian a lot better since I moved in with him. And then I put shout out to CC too, because we've been talking more recently.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I do think the pandemic has not, this is a little bit harsh, but you know who your friends are after the pandemic, you know, and like I think those bonds have been strengthened just because we're all kind of we're in this together, and we need those like people to be around us and talk to us. So it's been good.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's jump to page 6. We're out of the supplement. We're back into the meat of looking back at 2020. So this is the six sentences about my past year, and then the next page is 6 questions about my past year. So you guys can just put between both of these. We'll go around again, just pick one, and just keep rotating around. So let me just pick one out really fast. It's hard, I gotta host this and then also pick one. I'll start with a goofy one, kind of. So on the 6 questions, there's one called, who are 3 people you influenced the most? And I don't love answering it because it feels like kind of presumptuous to like, oh, I influenced you or whatever. But I'm not gonna read all 3, but there's one that I put on here. Okay, so I mentioned on the podcast, I think there's a guy who works at Purdue at the lab supply store, and he's always in a sour mood. Okay, he's I've rarely seen him smile, and you know, I got to go there to pick up stuff for the lab, and I think, from my observation, I feel like I've been a positive, you know, person in his life. I feel like I make him not mad. I'm not saying I make him happy. I make him not angry, because you know,
I feel like that'd be a neutral influence.
Yes, you know, I show up, I got my shit together, I got exactly I'm getting, I got the order numbers, I got the, you know, account numbers, and I'm in and out, I'm efficient, and I think he's like that. And now when I see him, he seems like he smiles, he asks me some other questions he wouldn't normally ask. So, you know, Brian, if you're listening, I don't think you are, but I hope I made your year a little less shitty.
Mine, I'm gonna put, let's see, the biggest surprise of the year is I wrote literally everything and also nothing. Because it seems like what was it? Was it January like 3rd of last year? There was talks of World War III.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
No,
And
it was wildfires first.
Was it wild? Okay, so it was wild.
Then it was World War III.
Australia was burning down.
Oh,
and then
Trump,
we were gonna
Trump bombed that dude.
In
Yeah, that's
Iran.
why. Yeah, that was
It was Iran or
Yeah.
Iraq or something. And here we are now, and have not thought of that in months. So everything and nothing, where it's like the new shit that happens, it doesn't surprise me anymore. But also, it's the biggest surprise. You know, just one of those things.
Yep, I totally agree.
I'll do. What are you most proud of? Ironically, I feel more like secure in my life this year, as far as like feel like I'm becoming like a contributing member of society finally. Becoming an adult. Financially, I've got everything, like in my name or whatever. My parents aren't on the loans or whatever. Like I got the reins. Jesus isn't at the wheel. It's Gabe.
So if the ship crashes, it's on you.
My fucking fault, but that's okay because I'd rather, I don't know. It feels good to be at the wheel, completely, and be self-sustaining. It feels good.
I like that.
The wisest decision I made was deciding on a whim to join a trail running group out here, because it kicked off me running, and then it also gave me like a guaranteed social interaction each week, which was nice on like my work from home weeks.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
I'm also gonna do what are you most proud of, and I'm gonna say all the progress the podcast has made. I feel like we've come a long way from a technology point of view over this year. It's getting things a little more smooth. We started the game streamings recently, which has been fun. I think did we start posting to YouTube this year? Or
I
is
think
that
we
already
did
in play?
because we started streaming, and then it just
Yeah,
made sense to record it for YouTube.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it just all the technology stuff, and I mean obviously we're getting better at being on a podcast every week, and I am seeing some slight increases in like our YouTube numbers recently, which has been fun to see. And just like overall, we've been more efficient with like the production side of things. So I'm just really happy about it, and I'm excited to see where we grow to next year.
It's fucking brutal to hear us talk in the first couple episodes because like I talk over people so many times. They're just like fucking waiting. It's so bad. The conversation just like stumbles. There's so much stumbling, and I don't know. Now it's a lot more like storytelling. I think really, it's like you add on to it. I don't know. The flow is a lot better for sure.
Well, we definitely got lucky because we were already doing the remote Discord recording before even the pandemic started. So we were already doing remote talking to each other. So I think there's a lot of podcasts who went remote, and there's a lot of talking over each other because like just the lag and like delay.
Sure.
I feel like we're pretty good about that now because we're used to it. We've been doing
Expecting
it forever.
Yeah. Because we got lightning fast internet.
Maybe.
Speaking of which,
Ooh.
the biggest lesson I learned was not to take my health and internet connection for granted. Just because of all the health concerns, going on, and we've all been lucky to be healthy. My parents and family has all been mostly healthy, which has been good throughout this. And then we're lucky enough to live in a city that mostly get good internet. There's a couple days it decides to take a shit on us, but luckily I haven't been working from home when that happens. So
Comcast, if you're listening, suck my fat fucking chode.
Gabe, how's that beer?
I'm not even drunk. I just fucking hate Comcast.
They fucking suck. They fucking suck.
We are just outside the city limit of like the city or internet, and it's like fiber, and you don't need a modem. You just plug it in. It's great, but we're just outside of it, so we have to pay like double for like half the fucking speed. Don't get a fucking choice. Fuck them.
So, but still, it's when I go into work and I have to deal with other people's at-home internet, and it is significantly worse.
That's true.
It does make me feel thankful. So, I've got those are my two big lessons.
I like it.
Oh
Okay,
man,
next up.
shit, all these suck. Not the questions.
You wrote them.
Not the questions. My answers.
I agree. I had
bad.
some of my answers like, and I'm not super.
Yeah, I guess.
Out on this.
I did put biggest surprise of the year as a free space, but I think I would say the wisest decision I made. I would say it would be like moving in with my friends, definitely helps a lot. Like we've been saying over and over again, it's helped my mental health a lot. And I think it would have helped regardless of the situation that that we're in now, but it definitely is very helpful now.
The biggest risk I took. This was a two-parter. The one I put doing the presidential traverse in one day, because I mean that's a lot. And we were fairly confident we could do it, but it's a calculated risk. And then also just being open to open up my feelings to more people.
Hell yeah, it's awesome. Or if you want one more of these, or do I move on to the next section?
I think next section
I
personally.
think we should move on.
All right, so
I
I
don't
do.
have let's-
So the next page, number page 8, the best moments, and we can just pick something. I'm sure we talked about all these already, but I had a couple I didn't mention yet. I wanted to shout out. So just best moments from the year. A lot of crying in anime this year. Like I mentioned, I watch a lot of anime, and because of that, lots of crying. Good crying though, so that was good. Making breakfast with Joseph.
Ooh.
The best on Saturdays. Just cook some pancakes, cook up some eggs and bacon, some taters.
Ooh. Tasty.
Good times. Getting Gabe to watch Attack on Titan and Demon Slayer was a great moment.
It's super good. I'm not
Certified weeb.
maybe. Those are like the gateway drugs though. That's like
yeah.
it's like the marijuana and the DARE program, you know.
Just one episode.
Yeah.
Shout out to playing volleyball with Dayton and his coworkers.
Mm-hmm.
Those are really fun. I like volleyball a lot. And then I watched the volleyball anime afterwards. And I was like, oh, that's the fucking best. And then also when I was with Dayton, we got lots of Taco Bell.
We did. We did.
That was a good time. Beating Hades was great. Moving Gabe and Joseph into their new house was a long day, but it was still, I think it was pretty fun and like satisfying. We had some brewskis at the end of that, so that was
Dude, that's the best part about moving is when you're done and you got the pizza and you got the brews, you know.
And then the last one, this week and last week, I've been learning how to use like Streamlabs and just learn how to stream because Dayton's been doing that so far. So that's been fun, a learning process, just figuring all that stuff out and making assets and stuff. So it's been enjoyable, little end of the year thing.
Cool.
You
Sounded very sarcastic.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. I just had to think.
Thank
for a
you,
second.
Jacob, for sharing that.
Sounds like your year fucking sucked. That's what that said.
So some of the best moments for me, going on dates with my new girlfriend Alyssa, trying new food, seeing new parts of the city and even the state. We went camping up north, which turned out to snow in, what was that, November, October? I think it was November. It was fun either way. Snowboarding in Duluth was a highlight. Going to those Duluth bars was interesting.
That was an experience.
That was so fun. Dude,
But it was fun.
I was looking through my camera and I saw that photo of Jacob just looking so pissed that he was at that one bar with all the frat bros.
College, yeah, it was all the frat bros in the Irish bar, and I wanted to kill myself. It was so annoying.
But hey, that one brewery, Ursa Minor, was pretty fucking great.
Even
Blacklist was good.
Yeah, they had a band that was pretty popping.
Yeah, so that was overall just a really fun trip.
That was. Good stories from that one.
Mountain biking with Tim and Gabe and even Nicole. That was fun. And then spending that week in Florida with my family and doing nothing but sitting on the beach and drinking and listening to my nieces and nephews cry and scream. But also they didn't only cry and scream. They were pretty good for the moment.
Also, it's not your problem.
It's not. That was like the best part. It's
You
like
just keep drinking.
just drink, go to a different section of the beach.
That is not my job.
They're only my problem when they're laughing and smiling. So, best part of being an uncle.
I mean, my best moments were definitely, the ones that I thought of when it was like explain your year, and it's pretty common. Summer trip for sure, super fun. Like Joseph said before, he goes before me. The lake house trip I had a lot of fun with.
Oh
Got some good stories out of that. Tim ran over the tow rope with the jet ski and like spent like 2 hours cutting it out.
Oh,
fun,
man.
fun story.
Oh.
I had to swim back. Fucking great. The one concert I went to that was really fun. I remember thinking, man, this is gonna be Minneapolis all the time, and then a month later it closed. 4th of July trip in Michigan, pretty much what Joseph said. I was drinking on the beach like all day. It was super fun. And then Friday nights at our house, just like general, memory, just hanging out with everybody and all that stuff, and mountain biking too. Definitely got some decent mountain biking in.
Sure.
A lot of the stuff I've already hit on, like all the outdoors stuff that I've been able to do, all the personal fitness related stuff. Outside of that, spending time up in Minneapolis visiting you guys, and really that's it from like
That's
yeah.
different. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you get to that, and I don't know. Like I said, when you're going from like name everything you've listed, like you're gonna think of the best parts,
Yeah, and I mean I don't wanna, be like Gabe and break a dead horse or whatever
Break a dead horse record.
whatever he
Break
wanted
it.
to say.
Break it dead. That's what I was gonna say. Break a horse.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go to the last page here, page 12, for the look back on 2020. So there's 3 parts to this, and we can just say all 3 and then go to the next person. So first part is the past year in 3 words, the 3 words that define your past year. I wrote isolating, novel, and that there's a lot of new things that happened this year, but also I went to a lot of new places and experienced a lot of new things. And then scary. There's a lot of scary shit that happened this year.
Mhm.
We don't really talk about a lot of them because they're being more upbeat, but yeah, some scary shit happened this year. The book of my past year, if there was a book made about it, what would the title be? And I wrote, sorry, we're still getting set up. And that meaning that, like, I feel like my personal development was kind of put on hold this year, and we're still trying to get set up, and then hopefully next year it'll be a little more productive with some of my personal things.
Yeah.
And then a farewell to last year. Anything you want to say? Fuck 2020.
All right. My 3 words to define the past year are not leaving home. There's a lot of time spent staying at home and, like, again, working from home. It's like I've sat in this room for 6 hours. I left to get food and I came back, and like I just haven't done anything. Just a lot of that, which goes into my book title, which is Mask Up or Shut Up: The Guide to Not Leaving the House. And farewell to last year, because 2020 can lick my chocolate starfish. Let's get our heads on straight out here. Or we get our heads on straight here on out.
I fucking love it.
And just like fucking come on, people.
Mhm. Yeah, 3 different words. I have different, work, full time. It's weird. And then again, ironically, security. Yeah, I mean, as far as like security wise, COVID didn't mess me up too much. So I guess for my book title, I have New Beginnings with a Rocky Start. You had just said rocky start, but definitely feel like I'm in a different phase of my life, especially this year. I mean, kicking off in February, like it's just completely different place in my life. Just weird time to start it, I feel like, and got some time, got plenty of time to work and expand my social circle, so it's not too big of a deal. Just gotta wait it out, Oh, farewell to your last year. I mean, fuck Rona,
Bye, dude.
Bye. You know what they say, January 1st is gone.
Yep. Yeah, it'll just poof out of existence.
Yeah, everybody who has it gets gone. All the dead people, they come back. 2021 zombie invasion.
All right, man.
Hey, don't joke with that shit, man. You never know. Like I said, nothing is surprising anymore.
2020 was the prequel.
Oh shit. My 3 words were outside, alone, and distance. A lot of these have like multiple meanings. Like outside, uh, kind of being like one, I can't go outside as much as I want to, but then also the time that I did spend outside was a lot more meaningful. I spent a lot of time alone, which doesn't really have multiple meanings than distance. I'm a lot further away from a lot of people, and then also getting more into like long distance running and the like. Um,
I
my
see what
book
you did
title.
there.
Yep, my book title isn't. It's not anything funny. I don't have anything like Joseph's or anything. Just fucking off into the woods. That's it.
That's all right.
And farewell to my last year. Just farewell to normalcy and learn to improvise. Because I mean,
I should
You
have.
have to overcome.
yep.
That should have been my 3 words.
Yeah. Cliche. Well, there you have it. I'll almost do one last thing about the whole thing. So I think I would say we kind of maintained pretty upbeat throughout this whole episode. I'm sure we could have gone dark. We picked different answers, but just want to say that like I know the four of us are definitely like privileged compared to a lot of people like going through a lot of hardships right now. So take that everything we said with a grain of salt. But I hope we can all put 2020 in the back seat, learn from it, try to become better, and then in a couple weeks we'll look forward to 2021. But again, for next week we're doing the episode 100 spectacular. Should be a lot of fun stuff about just kind of looking back on the podcast and hearing from you guys. Hopefully, if you write in. Again,
Please write in.
DM us on Instagram or email us at edwfpodcast@gmail.com. And post a description. And yeah, we'll see you next week. Thanks for listening. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.